What is up, guys? Welcome to my latest video, and as you can tell from the video title, today I'm going to be reviewing Smokey and the Bandit. Now, yeah, this is an old film, but it's one that I recently dug out while I was going through some DVDs, so I figured, what the hell, watched it and thought I'm going to do a review on it. So I'll give you a little bit of background first of all, for those of you who haven't seen it. It was made in 1977. It's a road comedy starring Burt Reynolds, Sally Fields, Jackie Gleason, Jerry Reed, Pat McCormick, Paul Williams and Mike Henry. And the film itself was the directorial debut of stuntman Hal Needham. Excuse me. The film follows Bo the Bandit Darville, played by Burt Reynolds, and Cletus Snowman Snow, played by Jerry Reed, two bootleggers, as they attempt to drive from Atlanta to Texarkana, pick up 400 cases of Coors beer and illegally transport it back to Atlanta in 28 hours or less. While carrying the beer, the Bandit drives a Pontiac Trans Am to distract the police and everything, and make sure the truck can keep going. And then during the run, they end up being absolutely relentlessly pursued by Buford T. Justice, who was played by Jackie Gleason, a Texas county sheriff who is he's such a character. There were two sequels, Smokey and the Bandit 2, which was made in 1980, and Smokey and the Bandit Part 3, which was made in 1983. I will be doing Smokey and the Bandit 2, and unfortunately Smokey and the Bandit 3, but more of that when we get to it. Smokey and the Bandit was the second highest grossing domestic film of 1977, second only to Star Wars A New Hope, the first film in the original trilogy. So goes to show you just how popular it was. Right, so now I'll do a bit more in-depth with the plot and tell you what it's about. So obviously, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, but it's a review, so kind of to be expected. So yeah, the plot is that wealthy Texan Big Enos Burdett, played by Pat McCormick, and his son Little Enos, who was played by Paul Williams, looking for a trucker to bootleg cars from Georgia, for a bet, and they make the bet with as many truck drivers as they can, and they go to a truck rodeo thing, and find Bandit, like I said, Burt Reynolds, at this truck rodeo in Lakewood Fairgrounds in Atlanta. They offer him $80,000 to pick up 400 cases of Coors from Texarkana, which at the time was the closest place it could legally be sold, take it back to Atlanta in 28 hours, ready for this race that's going on, so they can celebrate. So, like I said, the Burdettes have challenged other truck drivers to the same bet, and they've failed. But Bandit takes the bet, but he does it with a little bit of sly about him. He gets money off them up front for the beer, obviously, and then he manages to con them into buying a car to block from the truck. And this is one of my favourite scenes. I wish I knew how to put clips in from films to do this, but knowing my luck, can end up getting copyright claims left, right and centre. The bit where Little Enos is counting the money out for him, and Bandit just says, "Oh, I need a speedy car." So Big Enos says, "Yeah, go on." So he's counting the cash out. He gets to stop, and then Bandit just goes, "Speedier than that." So he carries on counting the money. It doesn't sound funny, but when you watch it, it's so much funnier. So yeah, ends up buying this Trans Am, and then picks up his mate, manages to con his friend Snowman, played by Jerry Reed, into joining him on this. Explains that he'll be driving the car to block. he's got to drive the truck. All he's got to do is just keep going, and Bandit's going to distract all the police so that they can get it done. So off the set, they get in Texarkana about an hour ahead of schedule. There is a scene at this cars place, warehouse type thing, where all these cases, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to load it." Bandit gets on this forklift truck, and Clay says, "Oh, you can't drive that." He's like, "I can drive any fucking thing around." He ends up piling into this pile of beer and sending Cletus flying into it. Again, it doesn't sound funny when I say it, but when you watch it, it's so much better. So anyway, they load up, set off back towards Atlanta, and then as Bandit's coming down this road, he's stopped by a runaway bride who comes out. Her name's Carrie, and she's played by Sally Fields. She ends up hitching a ride with him, but in picking her up, he also ends up being the target of Sheriff Buford T. Justice, played by Jackie Gleason, who's like a dedicated lawman, and his son Junior, played by Mike Henry, was supposed to be marrying Carrie. So she ends up telling Bandit the story about how she changed her mind at the last minute, so she just drove off and everything. He picks her up, not thinking anything of it. Buford's after him, for her showing him up and everything. Now Junior, Justice's son, is an absolute dimwit. Mike Henry plays him superbly, and him and Jackie Gleason, the chemistry, bang, they bounce off each other. It's their chemistry between all the cast is amazing. With Reynolds and Reed, when you first see them together, it's amazing. Then you see Reynolds and Sally Fields, their chemistry is amazing. And then you get Sally Fields, Jerry Reed, Burt Reynolds, their chemistry together is amazing. You get all the cast. The absolute chemistry of everybody is just amazing. It's one of those things as a kid I didn't really appreciate, but as an adult now, yeah, the chemistry on camera, I don't know what it was like behind the scenes. I've not looked into it that much, but on camera, everything just bang, bang, all clicks into place. So anyway, so I was saying, Bandit picks her up, Buford goes after her, goes after him, and her for showing him up. Along the way, there's just loads of car chases, pile-ups galore, just smashed up police cars. Buford's car gets absolutely destroyed bit by bit. There's just every opportunity for that car to get something ripped off it. It does. It gets its roof ripped clean off when it goes under a truck. The door gets smashed off. It just ends up an absolute wreck. So anyway, as they're driving back towards Atlanta, Bandit's antics, he's driving everything, he's getting more and more attention from the police. Meanwhile, Snowman's just battling on. He does have a bit of a scene on his own where he goes into a bar for some food and ends up getting into a fight with some bikers. They proceed to beat the crap out of him because there's about 30 of them. Well, one holds him, the other one, it's the usual sort of bar fight stuff. But as he goes out into his truck, he has his dog Fred with him as well. Fred is amazing. He doesn't do much, but what he does is just great, especially the bit where he goes swimming. But anyway, so Snowman gets beat up in this bar, gets back into his truck with Fred, starts it up, and he just sees this line of motorbikes. He's driving an 18-wheeler with a trailer full, and he just proceeds to just mow down all these bikes, just crush them under the truck and trailer, which is just really funny. So yeah, Bandit's distracting, getting all this police attention, as Snowman's just ploughing on towards, finish line. The police have absolutely no idea about Snowman, or the fact that he's illegally carrying all this beer. They're just totally focused on Bandit. And then Snowman gets pulled over as they get back into Georgia, and it looks like this could be it. And the cop has to see his manifest and everything. And then the Bandit comes back, spins the car around. Carrie, whose nickname is Frog by this point, because she decides she wants a CB handle. So Bandit gives her the one Frog because he says she's small, she's cute, she jumps around a lot, and he'd kind of like to jump her. So yeah, so they pull up. She whistles the copper. He turns around, she flips him the bird. They set off. Copper sets off. Snowman goes about his business. Then as it goes on, it's getting a bit more severe, and everybody's after Bandit. All these cars, there's even a police helicopter out. And Bandit's just like, right, this is it. We gets on the CB to Snowman. How far we got? It's like 4 miles to go. It's like, look, son, this is it. I'm gonna hang it up. They don't even know about you. I'm just gonna pull over, let them arrest me. You just carry on. The Snowman's, well, no. He says, I've never heard of Snowman. Let's introduce him. So he goes barreling past Bandit, and as the truck's going past the car, it just shows you Burt Reynolds sat there, and he's just like, God damn, we're gonna make it. And Snowman goes in front, and there's a police blockade at the entrance to the fairground. Snowman just mashes through that with a truck. Bandit follows him in the car. They both come battling out. God knows how they got that truck to go around that corner so fast, unless they sped it up afterwards, because that truck flies around that corner. Back to where the Enuses are sat after driving over the racetrack. They get there. They're like 10 minutes late or something. And then instead of taking the payoff, little Enos goes for a double or nothing with Bandit. Bandit's like, what's that? Go to Boston, pick up some clam chowder, bring it back in 18 hours. So Bandit and Frog are like, you're on. Anyway, they jump into Big Enos's Cadillac, because obviously all the police are coming. They drive off past all the police, and then they get up to the top of the rampway where they went into the fairgrounds, and there's Buford T. Justice and what's left of his car. Bandit gets on the radio and says, you've been a hell of a pursuer, best ever is, and all that sort of stuff. He says, I'll tell you where I am. I'm at the bottom of the ramp. You can't miss me. I've got my son next to me. I'm just like a cowboy. And then he decides that he can't, out of respect for all the effort that Buford's put in. He says he can't do it, so he basically just says, look over your shoulder. Buford looks over, sees them all sat in the Cadillac, and then he says, right, we're going to Boston to pick up some clam chowder. Carrie shouts no hard feelings to Junior. They set off. Buford sets off with them, and then Junior's running up, giving chase after his dad, and then it just goes to the end credits. So yeah, that's a very rough outline of the plot of Smokey and the Bandit. This is a film I watched a lot as a kid, and I mean a lot. My dad had the VHS of it, and I must have worn that film down to onion skin thin, the amount of times I've watched it. Yeah, it's one of the fond memories I have of my dad. Not that he's passed or anything, it's but it's one of the things I'll always sort of remember. My dad, first time he put this film on, and I was just hooked. As a kid, it was like, yeah, I can't remember how old I was, probably about 6-7 year old. But the version he got didn't have any of the swearing because it was from TV. Because back then you could tape from TV, which probably illegal, but everybody did it. So the advert, the one we had, got paused between the adverts for the film. And then the film carried on. But yeah, it was one of the first films I remember watching and just thinking, wow, this is amazing. And I wanted a Trans Am. From that minute, I was like, when I grow up, I'm going to get one of them Trans Ams. Obviously not knowing the price of them, the fact that by now there'd be classic cars, the insurance, running costs, all that sort of stuff, all the logical, adult, sensible stuff. As a kid, you have no idea about. All you see is, I want one of those. And even in day-to-day life, my dad used to use one of Buford's lines from the film, under the right circumstances. Like if there was something like we weren't supposed to do anything, my dad used to be like, don't do whatever. You can think about it, but don't do it. And it always used to make me laugh because I knew it was from the film. Yeah, so it's just like a bit of a fond childhood memory for me. It's sort of a throwback to my youth, and it's a film that I can still watch. I mean, I was chuffed when I found my DVDs of it, and I think I've watched it about 3 times before doing this review, and I never get bored of it. I can quite easily watch it and then start it over again. I love this film. If I ever had to do a top 10 favourite films, and I have thought about it, but the top 10 mostly, most of the films in it can change depending on what I've watched, what sort of mood I'm in. But this is consistently in that top 10, and it's probably always consistently in the top 5. if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of like road movies, car chase movies, stuff like that, watch it. Just watch it. I don't know if you'll be able to find it on any streaming devices or anything. I know it's not on Netflix or all like that, but well, I know it's not on Netflix because I have it, but it might be on Amazon. You might be able to get it from somewhere. But if you haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch. And those of you who have seen it, if you watched it as an adult, you probably picked up a lot more than I did as a kid until I rewatched it as an adult. But yeah, I would give this a solid 4 out of 5. I love this film, and I know a lot of hardcore film, critics out there would probably say, "Oh no, but this is wrong and that's wrong and everything." Pure enjoyment and nostalgia and everything that this film personally means to me. 4 out of 5 all day, every day. Like I say, it's a classic film I can put on any day and enjoy it, no matter what mood I'm in. I can put this on and watch it. So yeah, that is my review of Smokey and the Bandit. Keep your eyes peeled for my reviews of Smokey and the Bandit 2 and for my sins, Smokey and the Bandit 3. As you probably gathered, I'm not looking forward to doing 3, but all will be revealed there in the review. But yeah, so that's it, guys. This is my review of Smokey and the Bandit. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't want to go too much into the plot. I just wanted to give a rough outline of what goes on for anybody who hadn't seen it, who thought, oh yeah, this could be up my street, and wanted to watch it. So yeah, if you have watched it, feel free to leave a comment. Your favourite scene, anything about the film at all. And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. The world's a crazy place at the moment, but things will get better. So yeah, just remember that. So yeah, if this is the first video you've seen of mine, there's plenty more other stuff on my channel. It goes from wrestling stuff to movie reviews to all sorts. Monthly, Blu-ray and DVD purchases, all sorts of things. So yeah, feel free to check out some. Please leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. It's I'm on the trail to try and get to 200 subscribers. Doesn't sound a lot, but it would be nice to get to that nice round number. So yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall see you again further down the line. Bye for now, and take care.